Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with my reactions to the EA press conference here at E3 2017. First up, my predictions for this conference were Peter Moore would make a cameo in the FIFA 18 push, Battlefront 2 would end the conference with gameplay, Amy Hennig's Star Wars game would get titled and 2018 release date and trailer, Tom Brady would be on hand to talk about the honor of being the Madden cover athlete, and we'd get a teaser for the next Dragon Age. And all of those are wrong except Battlefront 2 gameplay did indeed end the conference. We ended up with a big old 40-man multiplayer match. So 1 out of 5 on my EA conference predictions. Yay! The show started off with Madden 18 getting a story mode called Longshot, featuring Mahershala Ali, who you might know as Remy from House of Cards. He was in Luke Cage. He was in Moonlight. Great actor. The most interesting thing that might have pulled me in, but I'm not a sports guy, so my snarky tweet to kick off the conference was, will I be buying Madden 18? Long shot. Heyo. Up next, we got to see Battlefield 1 come out. They gave a sizzle reel package of YouTubers and Twitch streamers, which, as much of this conference is going to be, not in my wheelhouse. But they did show that the game's going to get a couple new night maps coming out in June and July, as well as an expansion later in September called In the Name of the Tsar, fighting on the Eastern Front in Russia. It's going to feature 6 new maps, as well as a new story vignette, presumably, focused on the Women's Battalion of Death. Then we were back to esports and FIFA stuff, and I kind of tuned out at this point for a while, because, again, not my scene. I wish it were my scene. I wish I cared, because the IGNs and the GameSpots of the world seem to always be looking for people to talk about esports, and that's just not me. Sad face. Tear. We had a Need for Speed moment. Poor YouTube creator guy that clearly had some teleprompter issues. The thing probably froze up, and he was just a deer in the headlights there. Never a good way to kind of put yourself out there on a bigger stage, but also a reminder that, hey, maybe you should bring in actors or people who are comfortable speaking off the cuff for this kind of stuff, instead of people who need to be locked into a script and can't wing it if their life depended on it. I mean, I imagine the guy had to have had a rehearsal, so he had to have some sense of what he was going to be talking about. It was a little cringeworthy. Need for Speed Payback seems to be very much giving us kind of a Fast and Furious vibe. I, again, much like most of EA's stuff, I'm finding don't really delve into the Need for Speed series, so I have very little to say on it. A Way Out came out as the next highlighted EA original, following Unraveled and Fe, I think was last year's, F-E, because it was also Iron. It's a new game by Joseph Fares, the guy who made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It is a co-op only game designed for split screen. You can play it online, but you're still going to be playing split screen, apparently. So that's interesting. Something I will probably never play, just because I so rarely, if ever, play co-op games. But also coming early 2018. A new IP for BioWare got revealed in a tease called Anthem. Apparently it's going to get a full reveal at the Xbox conference tomorrow. This might be the new IP that Casey Hudson left Mass Effect to work on, codenamed Dylan, that I know Jason Schreier wrote about in his kind of analysis and in-depth breakdown of what went wrong with Mass Effect Andromeda earlier this week. Looks like mechs and soldiers and kind of BioWare's answer to Destiny, maybe. Then we got NBA Live 18, where they highlighted how you will be the one, another game story mode where you can play in the streets or play in the league, and everything is intertwined. Again, I tuned out on this one. Just kind of caught up on Twitter and everybody else's snarky tweets. And lastly, Janina Gavankar, lead of Star Wars Battlefront 2, came out, and she was great. She did a great job killing it on the stage to talk about Battlefront 2, as well as kind of show off some of the game, and then lead into the big 40-man multiplayer match that they ended the conference with. Single player mode, I'm excited for that, of course. Looking forward to playing the game. I bought the original Star Wars Battlefront specifically for the VR missions, and then never even got around to playing them or it. So multiplayer really isn't going to sell me. A 20-minute match on Theed did nothing to sell me. So I'm excited to play the single player mode, and that's about it. And that's pretty much the only thing that got me excited from the rest of the conference. We'll see what Anthem turns out to be. Apparently tomorrow at Xbox, that might also reel me in and win me over a little bit. But all in all, EA doing that thing EA does, and not for me. Like, I like Mass Effect, I like Dragon Age. Basically, I like the BioWare aspect of it. So, again, Anthem might sell me, might win me over, but until we start getting the Star Wars games that Amy Hennig is working on and Respawn is working on, they don't have much for me. So those are my impressions on the EA conference of E3 2017. Let me know what you thought about the conference in the comments below. And as always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey. You can follow me at Snarky Starkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.